welcome. Today we have Malay Saurav with us in the podcast show. He is one of the leaders in the real estate industry for working more than 28 years in the MEP services. So Malayji, nice to meet you after a long time. Welcome to today's podcast show. Can you start with an
Thank,
introduction, please?
thank you, Pankaj. Thank you for this opportunity. It's a great. After a long time, we are meeting, and thank you to give me this opportunity. I am actually a 28 years graduate mechanical engineers. Since beginning, I am into the service industries. Uh, I did my engineering graduation from BITS Mesra Ranchi, and after that, I served many companies, corporate sectors, the process industries, and some international project I have done in Dubai and other countries also.
Yeah,
I was associated for long time with Tatas and other corporate sectors.
yeah,
I have done my portfolios is very diversified. I was into the operation and maintenance for some time. Sometimes the process industries, the production.
yeah.
And in construction industries, I'm associated since last almost 18 years.
Right,
Uh, I was into the project execution as well as the project design and all. Currently, my lead role is from end-to-end service concept to commissioning stage, mm, including design and execution both. Since last almost 12 to 13 years, I am into design as well as execution of all different MEP services.
great, great. And today's topic is how to hand over projects with world-class quality and on time in the real estate
Okay,
industry and the other part of it.
okay.
Because my 30 plus years of experience, plus talking to 400 plus developers, I have
Mhm.
seen that more than 90% of the developers are not being able to deliver projects on time with world-class quality. So what you have to
Okay.
say about it?
See, basically, if you will see about the project delivery schedule, there are two factors mainly here. Uh, if you will say that, I can say that uh, the main delay of the project delivery is that they are not planned it well. The planning part is one. So end-to-end planning is the missing link there. Most of the developers in India, particularly, if I'll say that,
Yeah,
uh, the planning overall, the project planning is missing. This is as per my experience. If you will see that uh, in real estate industries, basically, um, generally, if you will say the project lifespan which we are designing, it's almost 40 to 50 years
mm,
of span. That is the design. Out of that, if you will calculate the overall cost of the life cycle of the building, it's the total execution cost. So system execution cost is hardly 30 to 40%. Rest of the operation and maintenance post handing over of the project is ranging from 60 to 70%.
mm,
Today, developers are more focusing on the system execution part.
mm.
They are not taking the other half. The other half is the major chunk of the cost.
Yeah,
So they are more focusing on the cost and how to deal with that. They are making the system more complex in terms of design, in terms of just they are focusing only on the aesthetic and the space planning and all. The service part is missing here in India.
yeah,
So
correct.
systems are getting more complex, which leads to the sequence following activities and uh, more overhead cost of the project. Uh, Cash flow is another part that they are not getting regular cash flow of the project, and these are the main reasons of delaying the project. So I think the all developers, I would like to say that they should more focus on overall scenarios of the project, including structure, architecture as well as MEPs. MEPs having very, very, important factor in a building industries. If you will say that MEP basically it's a neural network of your body. If you compare a project with your body system, the structure is the skeleton.
Correct.
And architecture, what you're saying that this is overall your aesthetic parts, the how you will look.
Mm,
What is your outfit of that? This is basically the architecture. The services which is laid down inside the building,
mm,
it's basically a neural part. This veins and all, like in your body, how veins are traveling and all bloods and everything is circulating from your brain to entire heart to entire body. The similar function, if you will compare with this, is in the MEP services. It's laid down in your entire project like a veins, the water, electricity, HVACs, fire, everything. And the coordination among all these services, along with the structure and architecture, playing a major role.
correct.
So if we'll see that from architectural perspective, the architects are mainly focusing on the building aesthetics as well as the space planning. They are not focusing on the maintainability of the system,
Yes.
how the building will get maintained in the future. And after handing over, the number one, during execution, the system is more complex because of this less space planning for the services, the
Yes.
coordination issues, and after handing over of the building, again the operation and maintenance cost is very high.
Yes.
So these are the, I think the developers should focus equally on the service part as they are looking only, the service and they are just hiding the services. Service is nothing for them. Cost wise, if you will see, the proportion of the cost of the total project cost 20% mostly it's MEP cost, 20 to
Mm,
24%,
yes.
as compared to core and sale as well as the finishing part. So
Yes.
core and sale part is around 30-35%, rest 40-45% is your finishing part,
Mm,
rest 20 to 24% is a MEP services.
mm,
So the resource allocation, the coordination, the space planning is not proportionally equalized in this particular industries. Like in any particular site, you will see there will be 100 of civil engineers and there will be only one MEP engineer who will look everything.
yes.
The other challenges is that in MEP services, there are multiple, subjects are involved. Like electrical is one part, mechanical is one part, air conditioning. These are the different subject in engineering.
Mm,
So we cannot anticipate that an electrical engineer can execute your mechanical work in a very good way, or a mechanical engineer cannot execute an electrical work in a very good way.
yes.
So you have to keep all three streams together for execution as well as for the design.
Yes.
So these are the missing link which you have to, I want to say to the developers, this keep equal focus on the MEP services because ultimately your building performance or your property performance is totally dependent on your service laid inside the building. And that is the main customer touch points. So your building aesthetics is good, but the system is not working properly. Water is not coming well, the drainage are not proper, or power is getting failed every time. So this is irritating the customer.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
So the service is very major role playing after sales and after sales because the customers is ultimately feeling those services. Structure, nobody is going to look what you have done. I'm
Yes.
not saying is you don't focus on the structure because that is bounded by codes and standards. So you have to, uh, you know, comply to all those things. But equal importance, I want to say that let's give equal importance to the MEP services as well, so that you can get a sustainable and good products which you are giving into the customer.
Very true. Very true. I mean, as you have rightly pointed out, there is lack of clarity in the planning itself from the day one. There
Yeah,
is also one observation, the costing which is done at the day one, that costing itself is wrong according to me.
correct.
because not that many developers are able to do the costing part of it, and whosoever is also doing, bearing, I think 2 to 3%, 2 to 5%, 95% are not able to make the correct budget estimate.
Proper allocation of the cost, that's
Yes,
also a major factor, you know. And one more thing I want to highlight over here, you know, uh, in India, the practice is like that. Number one problem is that the, you know, contractors' quality, the skill of the system is skill of the contractors is not up to the mark.
yes,
And there is a always, lack of good peoples in the MEP sectors. You will not find a good resources in the MEP. Similar condition is with the consultant, and the similar condition is with the contractors as well. The like and here the practice is like that. Different services will have different contractors. You have different electrical contractor, different HVAC contractors, and different plumbing and firefighting contractors. They are specialized only in those sectors. The interference between these two services, like your plumbing and firefighting, or plumbing and air conditioning, or plumbing and air conditioning and electrical, there are a lot of intercoordination work. Like in plumbing system, you have electrical works also involved.
yeah,
In firefighting, electrical works is also involved. In HVAC, electrical and plumbing both are involved. So specialized contractors is not good. Specialized contractor, we can say it's not available in India. That is another problem here. And the designer also, the design like consultants and all, they are not very much advanced in this country proper, if I can say, because the pay structure for the consultant sectors are not very good. So good people are not going into consultancy part because they are not getting very good return from the consultancy part. So most of the consultants here, they are, as per my experience, I am saying you, they are doing a cut and paste kind of job. The same systems, they are not looking a design project specific design. They have one, suppose BOQ or one specifications. They are uh, continuing that specifications for their all 100 projects.
yes,
The specification, the BOQ must be a project specific, not
yes,
a generalized, standardized specific.
correct.
So you have to design the system. Like in firefighting system, if we will talk about,
Mm,
none of the Indian consultants are doing a hydraulic calculations for the firefighting line.
correct.
They are just not you no none of the consultant are either using the software or doing it manual. They are just copying and pasting the design and giving it to them.
Mm,
The reason behind that, they are not well paid off here. If you will take an international consultant, they will come maybe 10 rupees or 12 rupees or 20 rupees per square feet. Whereas in Indian consultants, we are hardly paying 3 to 4 rupees per square feet,
correct.
which is less than even 1% of the total project cost.
Mm,
So my request to all developers that give more attention to the designer.
mm,
If you will pay 1%, they will save you at least 10% of your project cost. Bring a
correct.
good consultant, pay them. That amount is very less, hardly 1 to 2% you're paying, maybe 1% you're paying to the consultant. But the design which they are providing, that will lead to save you a bigger chunk of money during execution. If you will do one mistake in your design, one word in your specification in MEP services, that may lead to loss of crores of rupees in your execution.
True, very true. Yes,
And if you will bring a good consultant, they will work for you. If you will pay him the good money and you feel clear that I want a project specific design and I'll pay for that, then you can save a lot in execution or even after handing over of the services, because the
then,
energy and all, as I said earlier, that the 70% is operation and maintenance cost.
mm,
So the developer also in residential, if you will say, they're focusing that we will sell and exit from the project. So overheads and after sales maintainability and all, it's all going to the user end. So they are not focusing on that part, whether the energy saving is taken care of or the water saving is taken care of or not. So my suggestion is one more important is that there is a new regulations in India, uh, uh, you know, um, just launched by the Bureau of Energy Standard. They are looking the, you know, project credit points, that is energy, annual energy credit point. And
Yes.
they are doing the star rating of the building.
Mm.
It's a good initiative. So all developers should approach to that star rating of the building. Suppose your building, say there are some data, I don't remember the exact value. So if your project is consuming say 7 kilo or 70 kilowatt per square feet per annum, that will be a category A of star rating. So 5-star rating or 6-star rating. Likewise, if your energy consumption is more into your project, the star rating will get reduced. So this is one initiative given by the Indian Energy Bureau, and most of the developers, the good house is adopting that, but it's not very generalized in the market. So if you want a sustainable, good product, good business, sustainable business, you must go with this star rating of your building. So 5-star rating building means building is more energy efficient, more water efficient.
Correct.
So
Very
based
true.
upon that, the star rating will be given to your building. So
True.
this must be implemented by the developer.
True. Another important aspect is most of the developers focus on the sales of the project. Nobody 80% concentration is given to the sales and 20% concentration on the product. And my
Correct.
thinking, my observation from the world class perspective is that if you make a correct product, first time right approach, you deliver a world class product, sales will happen on its own. What do you have to say about it?
I'm telling you one our experience based upon your this problem. I work with a very renowned developers in Mumbai. Maybe top five developer, one of the top five or top three developers there in Mumbai. Generally, when we are designing a building, that was a high-rise tower or 8 towers in a project, 8 or 7 towers. 7 towers was there in the project. So at the concept stage or designing stage, we used to do the budgeting and costing of the entire project. So like structure, architecture, and MEP services, we establish our cost at the before designing the building. So based upon that, we used to give it to the developer, and then the finance is adding the overheads, profit, and everything, the land cost and everything, and you are establishing a sale price of that particular product. Maybe 3,000 or 5,000 or 8,000 rupees per square feet will sell this product.
Correct.
And there at certain configuration of the building, like 1 BHK, 2 BHK. So that project was having all four configuration, say one room kitchen, 1 BHK, 2 BHK, and 3 BHK product
Yes.
in certain proportion. And that is driven by the building efficiencies. If you say that the building efficiencies means the total built up area versus sellable area.
Yeah.
So that the building efficiency is generally they are maintaining more than 80%.
Yes.
So if you're 80 more than 80%, you're getting maybe 86, 87, or 90% building efficiency. And this is a good product with certain configuration. And based upon that, they are establishing the cost. We have done this all calculation, and the project is launched with that configuration. I'm sharing you my experience. This is
Yes.
really happening in one of the projects.
Hmm.
And the project is launched into the market. On the day of launching, the 1 BHK unit is 100% sold out in 6 hours. And the marketing guy just called the developer on phone. Sir, 1 BHK unit all sold out. Can we increase more number of 1 BHK unit? Then without consulting the designers or doing the analysis, it's a reputed builder.
Hmm.
They given direction to the salesperson, एक building और 1 BHK में बेचना. And that guy booked the cost. And out of 1 BHK, out of that 7 or 8 building, two buildings they sold out with a 1 BHK configuration. And when we did the backward calculation for that, the building is efficiency is went down by 8%. And the monetary loss of that builder, because of that, your construction cost will increase, your schedule will increase, everything, the overhead will increase. That impacted more than 100 crores of rupees to that developers.
Correct.
And he just ran away. अभी क्या करना है बताओ? What to do now? We are in loss now. We cannot. This project is not viable. Please dilute these specifications. They forced us to dilute these specifications to bring it, give me the saving of 1 crores of rupees. Well, it's not possible. Ultimately, they drained out from his pocket only.
Mm.
So specific today that you cannot do because of the RERA applications and everything
Yes.
you're writing in your process. So diluting the specification will not give you a return of 100 crores of rupees.
Yes.
So this is very conscious decision. So this developer should be very careful that what we are committing to the customer or what we are selling into the market.
Yes.
This I am telling you about 2010-12 stories. One of the renowned building in Mumbai. I'll not tell you the developer names and
Yeah.
property, but it's very renowned developers in, and this is happened.
Correct. Correct. And many projects still it happens when it comes to cost cutting. Building का cost cut कर दो by 100 crores, bring down by 100 crores, bring down by 200 crores.
Not a correct idea and correct approach. Absolutely not.
Exactly, exactly. So, in essence, I mean, there is also a problem with the system operating procedures. 90% companies doesn't have systems and procedures because of which
Correct.
they ran into problem like this. What do you have to say about this?
I'm saying you, other than the corporate house, I haven't seen any of the developer. I have worked with many developers in Mumbai, in different cities. I worked in Mumbai, I worked in Dubai, I worked in Calcutta, and with my last company with Tata, I was handling this pan India, all country. None of the developer, I'm not talking about the corporate house like Mahindra, Tatas and all. None of the developers is having the quality plan in place.
Yes, very true.
Loda, of course, they are having, big developers they are having. The most of the B-line developers, they don't have the standard quality plan in place. They don't have the EHS plan in place. This all leads to additional cost, diversified cost. You will not do a correct costing until and unless you have the quality plan in place. What you are going to give, what quality of material you are going to use, what will be your concrete specifications, what will be their concrete ratings, may M30, M40, M60, where. So these all are directly related to your quality plan. So first of all, you have to have a very standard quality manual and EHS manual in place.
Correct,
And
correct.
that should be a guidelines of your project launching.
Yes.
So this is missing everywhere. None of the developers are having.
Now, despite the fact that RERA is there, the fire regulations are updated, new regulations have come up, as you mentioned. Still, I mean, there are, of course, introduction of the RERA and everything, it cut across 50% of the builders. They are vanished. Now, existing developers, okay, government is doing their part, but we should also make them aware to, I mean, come to the systems and
No,
processes.
here there are three major driving factors, if you will say that.
Hmm,
Uh, Maybe before RERA or before monetization, there was two parallel markets running in India.
hmm,
So I can say that this construction industries was a parallel economy in India. Lots of black money was running in the construction industries.
hmm,
And end to end, they are running a parallel economy.
hmm,
After monetization, the B class developers and all is vanished from the market because of the cash crunch. This is number one.
hmm,
Number two, uh, the taxation rule and all, which is implemented by this government. Uh, the second home buyer or investors mainly, salaried investor, I'm telling, like people like you and me
Yeah.
who want to invest in the real estate for a good return. This is vanished from the market. There is no good return now from the real estate. So the second home buyer is out of the market.
Mm.
Like nobody is today willing to invest in the real estate as a second home or third home
Correct.
because there is no return.
Mm. Yes.
So the people who is there in the market is only a fund investors, which is investing in funds like Mumbai, there is a common practice. And another one is a genuine buyer. The salaried investors is out
Mm.
because they are not getting any tax benefit out of that.
Yes. Yes.
So today the customer demands is reduced by 50%. The market may there's only genuine investors are there available in the market who actually require a home to stay in the home.
Correct.
और the businessman who is having in this business since long that अभी 10 फ्लैट खरीद के हम रख देते हैं बाद में जब प्राइस बचेगा तो बेचेंगे that kind of investors are there actually developers are working in those and that is also the because of this monetization the cash flow is now very challenging now so that also reduced drastically
Correct. Correct.
so these
So.
are the factors which are affecting the sales in the market and developers is getting tough time for their cash flows and all and second one is the rera implementation
Mm.
that is also tightened into the market there are lots of third thing was that one was monetization one was rera implementation and the third reason was nvc changed from 2005 to 2016.
Yeah.
There are many changes in the NBC 2016. The fire regulations, there are a lot of change in the fire. It's done for the betterment, but some structural code is also revised now.
Mm.
If you are following that code and compliances, then the cost will go at least at 15 to 20% high in structure now.
Yeah.
Similarly, your fire norms is to change. Many changes are there in the fire norms. The fire tower comes, the second fire stations. If you are crossing the 100 numbers of fire hydrants, then you have to put another fire stations and all. And there are certain areas relaxation also. The fire air change is reduced now in the basement and all. So there are many changes, and that is for the betterment of the project. But cost-wise, it's implementing to the builder. Builder has to put more cost on that.
Yes. Correct. So, how about the implementation of the regulatory stuff?
Very good question. In India, NBC of course is a Bible. NBC is a main. NBC is a guidelines. It's not a regulation. It's a guideline. So the different state in India is having there is no standardized format for the building regulation. Every state, RERA, of course, this is implemented, but it's not related to the design.
Mm.
I'm talking about the design part and
Yes.
execution part.
Mm.
There is no single authorities in India. Different state is having different regulations. The fire norms are different in different state. Like Gurgaon is having different fire approach than Mumbai. Your eastern part like Calcutta and all is having different regulation approach.
Mm.
South, if you will go in Chennai and all, they are having different regulation approach of fire and electricity. So electricity, water, and fire norms in different part of country are different. That will have to, at least to some extent, we have to standardize that across country. Of course, I understand certain areas local, as per the local authorities requirement, they should change certain, but not in the standard like air, like electricity supply regulations or the fire regulations can be standardized across the country.
Correct.
So if this will happen, then approval will be very easy. People will understand better. Suppose if somebody is going from north to south, they need not to freshen up their entire knowledge. Then whatever they have done here in north, they can do same in south, which is not the case today. So the regulation authorities should also think about that standardizing the regulation. At least 90% they can do. 10% I can understand. Here
Correct.
and there, that will require other additional requirements. So these are the, and second thing on developer part, uh, in our last company, we used to educate our entire team for regulatory approvals and all.
Yes.
Most of the team, the execution team particular,
Mm.
designer, they might know the regulation because they have to, comply with the codes and standards and all. But down the line, the execution and testing commissioning peoples, they are not 100% aware with the regulatory norms
Yes.
or or testing and commissioning norms here. So we need to educate those peoples also. Suppose if you are constructing a uh, say hotel or commercial building, there are at least more than 40 or 50 regulatory compliances. You have to get the certification from the different authorities.
Yes.
And if you will not comply to their standards, the project will get delayed.
Correct.
And most of the project, if the fire officers is visiting to your site, they start pointing out, ye nahi hai, ye karo, this change, that change. And your project is getting delayed, you are not able to get the OC of the project.
Correct.
So from top to bottom, starting from the developer to the execution guys, handing over guys, state team, the facility management team, they should be fully aware with the regulatory norms. I am telling you one of my project. Certain certification requires every year, uh, you know, renew that.
Mm.
And our facility team in one of the hotel, they were not knowing certain renewal procedure in our last company.
Yeah.
We paid, our company paid 23 lakhs penalty as a penalty because they haven't renewed it for 4 years because
Correct.
they were not aware.
Correct.
The
Correct.
operation guys. So
Correct.
the first when you're joining a company or when you're interviewing a person, make sure that they know the regulation, the real
Correct.
estate regulations. What are the regulations?
Correct.
What are the codes and standard?
Correct. Yeah. One last question. What do you think one secret behind the successful delivery of a real estate project? One secret.
There are success to believe. There are two things here. The real is project successful is different and successful delivery is different.
Mm.
Project successful is totally depends upon your the locality where the location of the project and the climatic conditions and your brand sustainability
Mm.
and your brand value. Whereas the on time delivery of the project is depends upon clear communication and effective communication between the team from top to bottom. There should be a very clear communication. What is happening here? Top management जो बात करता है, that is not getting percolated down the line.
Yes. Very true.
And maybe the stories are different, is percolating. So we should be very clear and open to our statement. So effective and clear communication should be there from top to bottom. What we want to do. This is
Correct.
very important.
Correct.
Second thing is the shortage of material. So planning again. So when we want which materials, the market conditions, the material, certain materials delivery lead time is very high. So you have to bring it on time. So again, it's coming on to the planning. when which materials procurement should be triggered.
Correct.
This should be every time we should be reviewed by the management.
Correct.
And third one is, you know, skill and technology also playing a major role. We should adopt the new. There are a lot of new technologies now came into India as well. Most of the developers I have seen that they are using very old tool for executions and all.
Yes. Yes.
They are not forcing contractor to bring the new tools because they are not fully aware.
Yes.
So if you will depends on the new technologies, new tools, new systems and all, you can save a lot of time in that, and you will get a better product also.
Correct. Correct.
So these are the factors we have to focus on that for a good product, world class product quality.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for so much for your inputs. We hope the industry will be benefited. I mean, the whole focus and idea is to make our Indian real estate developers world class.
Uh,
That is the intent. So thank you very much. Signing off for now. We'll be meeting again. Thank you. Thank you once.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you.